Hi guys, it's me, Kathy. This is Handy Are You. I hope you guys are doing great this summer and that things are going really well. This video I'm re-recording because it was supposed to come out before my last one. And I must have hit the wrong button, you know how I am. And so things were a little bit out of order in my last couple. So I apologize for that. So anyway, remember I said a fat lady sang right behind President Trump and Melania at the, I think it was the 75th anniversary of D-Day, and they were in France, along with, you know, Macron, whatever, and there was a lady, I mean, she wasn't huge or anything, but she was very dramatic. You probably remember me talking about it. And she was right behind President Trump and Melania. And she had on an American flag that was absolutely huge. And it was draped around like a shawl. It was so obvious. I mean, we were definitely supposed to see this woman. Definitely. And I think she had dark hair, but I'm not exactly sure right now. And she sang almost like an opera singer would sing, with really emphasizing her mouth, you know, her syllables, you know, the O's were like that. And so she was singing, you know, the national anthem. And anyway, I know that it's important that that happened. I know I'm just sounding awkward, but anyway, so the fat lady sings is 170, because that's the way I looked at it, you know, like just a phrase, a fat lady sings. So I did the fat lady sings, 170, and that equals 74, which, as you probably know, is Jesus. I feel God is laughing. The royal family, not the fake royals, but the real royal family, Operation Rose, and Rose is the same as my name, Kathy, 57, but Rose is also the same as Mary. So every time you see, or hear, I should say, Rose, you can think of it as Mary, Mary Magdalene. So it also equals what is happening, and that's a President Trump phrase. What is happening? And I clean up the mess, which is another thing he says quite a bit. So this is why I tried that. You know, okay, so on the 4th of, well, I shouldn't say the 4th of July, because it's so hard to change a habit, but Juan O'Savin has said in the past that we're not supposed to really be saying the 4th of July, because that's a 47 when you say it that way. And that's, for the United States, that's backwards. We don't say any other holidays like that. We don't invert the numbers. And he said it's like the bad guys kind of thing to say it that way. So what we're supposed to say is July 4th, which is like any other date that we say in the United States, you know. And so the date that we were founded in 1776 was really on a 7-4, right? And 74 is Jesus. So that's why that's important. So we say July 4th, 7-4. Okay, so on the 4th, I said it again. Here I am explaining it all, and I get it backwards. It's so embarrassing. On July 4th, George News posted a lot of photos of President Trump and Melania at different 4th of July. Yeah, I give up. You know what I'm talking about. That day. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do? July 4th, on different July 4th. And So I noticed that she was wearing, the day they had the Salute to America, which I was at for a little short bit, but not even long enough to count, honestly. I was there and I didn't get to see anybody, but I was there on the grounds and I had this horrible back problem and I had to leave. It was really bad. I felt like I was being attacked. I had to go get a massage and work it out, you know. Oh, it was terrible. Go all the way down to, you know, Washington for this event and then I couldn't stay. That was really stupid. But anyway, so on that, at that 4th of July, Melania came out and she had on a beautiful white dress and it had little thin bands of different colors. You know, there would be a white, I don't know how to explain it, but it was like little skinny stripes, horizontal stripes of color, and they were spread apart, and it was in the order of the emergency broadcast symbol that you see. You know, if there's a test, you guys probably have seen that before when there's a test and you hear a hum, and you'll see a bunch of colors on the screen, and that's the order of the colors that she was wearing. So it was like a test, literally. And she was wearing flat shoes. And I hadn't ever noticed her wearing flat shoes before, but now that you can look back at it and go, oh yeah, now I can find her in flat shoes. Especially because he posted them all together. It was super easy to see that. And so she had flats on. They were white. And she still came up to the same height on President Trump. So that was very interesting because we've seen her a lot before in spiky high heels. And I told you about Princess Diana from my decoding, you know, that Princess Diana was playing Melania. So when she's wearing flats or very low shoes, she's Princess Diana. That's what I'm figuring. And when she's Jacqueline Kennedy, she's wearing spiky high heels, which is so funny to think about because she was, you know, Jacqueline Kennedy, the way we always think of her. She was very demure and very put together, and I can't even imagine her wearing spiky high heels. But anyway, that's the way it is, as Walter Cronkite would say. So anyway, let's see, what else do I have here? I did reread these, but I still have to look at my notes. So I decided to try after I saw all those photos, because like I said, I had figured out Princess Diana was playing Melania, but I hadn't realized that Jacqueline was. So Jackie Kennedy. So I tried on Gematrix.org, I tried Melania is Jacqueline and Diana. That's 228. And 228 is a President Trump phrase. The best is yet to come. And I think that's one of the things that are the best yet to come when we find this out. Big, and another phrase that he uses, bigger than you can imagine. I think he says that. Maybe that's a 17th letter phrase. It's kind of, I didn't write down where it's from, but oh gosh, that might be a 17th letter phrase. You guys can check it out. It's one of them. I am really sick of snakes. Yeah, we're sick of snakes. The bad guys, sneaky people, and in the Garden of Eden, that was bad. You know, him lying to I think it's the two Eves. You know, there was a Betty Davis movie. I had this written down somewhere else, but there was a Betty Davis movie, and I think it was called The Two Faces of Eve. So, I mean, I guess you could look at it as the good and the bad, or you could look at it as two people, the two faces of Eve. And it's been a long time since I've seen that, so I can't remember the plot. I just remember the title of the movie. So, yeah, really sick of snakes. And here's another one for Melania is Jacqueline and Diana. You know me so well. And we're, like, more than one, we're in this together. Like, we're in this personality together. So I'm thinking, like I think I said before when I was talking only about Princess Diana, I've got a feeling there really isn't a Melania the way we think of Melania. I think she's always somebody, one of these two. Maybe there's another one and I don't know. Who knows right now? And let's see. And nobody knows my name. So that sounds pretty, it makes sense, right? So, let's see. And here's more 170s from previous things we just did, where the fat lady sings. And that's 170, and it equals decode information. We are the storm. That would make sense, right? I know sometimes you only look at these matches as part of it matching. I always say that, it can be the whole thing makes sense or only a couple of words make sense for what you're working on. But at least at this moment, we make sense. The two of them. And like I already said, the royal family. Another one is I'm having a hard time talking, you guys. World War III. That matches. Mary Magdalene Hint matches Jacqueline and Diana. Melania is Jacqueline and Diana, sorry. And so Mary Magdalene Hint, Operation Rose, I already told you. This is a good one. Sweet Child of Mine. And you think of President Trump as the dad. Twilight Hour, like I'm thinking like the eclipsey kind of idea. Attention on deck, like, on board the ship where likely all this is going to happen, the beast event. The best, behavior. Yeah, behavior. That was bad behavior. Debt forgiveness. I think that's pretty interesting. Okay, so what do you think that after, I don't know when after, but anyway, after this event happens and they come back, what do you think that maybe that's when a lot of things change? Like possibly the reset, and like I said, debt forgiveness matches. Let's see, end of sorrow, divine atonement, God's law complete. So John F. Kennedy is 131, and that equals under the law. So you know how Christians, including me, I think all religions are correct to a point, so I'm not saying that that's the best one. But we look at it as Jesus died for us. He was, I think it's in the Bible, it might say, I think it does say this, he's a propitiation for our sins. That's the way we looked at, that's the way I think it even says. That just means like a replacement, like a divine replacement. God had him take our place so that our sins were covered and we were under grace. So before that we were under the law, and then Jesus died supposedly, and then we were under the grace of God instead of under the law. And the reason we were under the law is because, he was mad because everybody was gone back to sacrificing, and that's when Moses brought the tablets down, the emerald tablets, and he's like, you're under the law now, basically, you people. And so anyway, Jesus didn't die or two Jesuses, or whatever the truth is. And so that means that it didn't happen. So that means, to me, this is just my opinion, that we're still under the law until the sacrifices with the two witnesses, they come back. And, and the beast and all that stuff from Revelation 11. So, anyway, so under the law, with, I'm sorry, I'm going to go back a step. I went into it too quickly. So, I just told you that, let's see, we were working on 170, and it's end of sorrow. This all kind of made sense. End of sorrow, divine atonement, God's law complete, and 1,000 years, not 8,000 years, but 1,000 years, like, of peace, right? And then the last one I got was, we've made it to Eden, like back to Eden, literally. So, end of sorrow, divine atonement, we've made it to Eden. To me, it sounds like after all that, it's like things get tons better. So let's see. So I'm now back at 131, John F. Kennedy, and I told you it was under the law. Let's see, it equals London, England, which makes me think of Princess Diana, right? And I feel guilty. Proud Mary, which of course is a song, but and think about that. Oh my gosh, that song just started running through my head when I said it. And Proud Mary, the wheels keep on turning. I remember we were talking about the time is not a straight line. You can't see my hands. I'm talking with my hands. The time is a straight line, not a straight line like we always think. Like that. That it's really like you're on a wheel and there's like spokes of a wheel, and likely what's happening is you're lining up. Like when we get to do all this traveling through air tubes, the way I think it's going to happen, like tubes that are just kind of that you're kind of like lining up, and that's all from, I think it was from a Simon Stanhope video. I got that. I mean, it was so obvious that that's what he was talking about. He was really cool. I can't remember the name of it, but I mean, I've listened to so many lately. I bet I'm getting near, probably over 50 listening to his videos. So, and some I've listened to 2 or 3 times. And he's on, like, what is it, bite-sized audio classics. So, anyway. Okay, I said, So 131's also, let's do this. I surrender. Damage reversal. Right? And, if you're under the law, I don't know if you know, but under the law, there's like one of the laws, I don't know where it is. Is it in Numbers? I can't remember in the Bible. Obviously it's in the Old Testament, but one of them is the sins of the fathers. Your father carries forward through 10 generations. So if somebody way back in the family did something wrong, we're always doing something wrong. Let's admit it. I mean, I do stuff wrong all the time. And anyway, and then the sins of the father get passed on to all these generations farther down, and I think it just keeps like snowballing, and things go wrong for us. You know what I mean? I mean, that's kind of what I'm thinking, what's kind of been going on. So one of the many reasons that things are not, as I like to say, hunky-dory. They're not. So damage reversal, cures of cancer. I can't wait. The Great Beast. So, the Beast event. live real-time matches. So all this matches 131 John F. Kennedy. So live real-time. So we're going to see it live real-time. I'm just 100% sure. Then we have an execution, unbind a curse, just like what I was talking about with the what is it called? Anyway, 10 generations. So unbind a curse. So what do you think? Let me know what you think about that. I know it's pretty intense, all this stuff, but I do think that's what's happening. And then I went and did a little research on, beyond gematria, like literal things. Like Jackie's height is 5'7", and she wears a size 4 dress, and at least in that time period. Shoe size is 10 and 120 pounds. So one really interesting thing that I saw was from, I think, one of her assistants that was there 11 years or so. Sorry, my nose is always itchy. And one leg is a 1/4 inch shorter than the other. Now, they didn't say where I was reading which leg it was. So a 1/4 of an inch was added to one of all of her pairs of shoes. So that was pretty interesting, don't you think? Let's see. Diana is tall like me. I'm 5'10", 10 and a half. Don't tell anybody else. I usually just say 5'10". She's a size 8 dress, and I'm kind of like that. Maybe more like a 10 dress. I don't know right now. Shoe size 9. Mine's bigger. And 127 pounds. And I'm a lot bigger than that. So that's a little confusing, especially with the sizes. But anyway, so Diana, when you look at this, she's 3 inches taller than Jackie. So doesn't this make sense, what I was already getting with coding? So Diana was wearing the flats, and Jackie was wearing spiky high heels. Then I looked at Melania. Is Melania even a person? Is it only Jackie and Diana playing Melania, and there is no Melania? I don't know. And if you, like I think I told you before, go back and look at when President Trump, there's a photo online, just look under images, of President Trump and supposedly Melania that he was seeing years ago. She does not look at all like our Melania. Not at all. Nothing. And I don't think if there was a facelift involved, like everybody would give her grief about in the last few years, I just don't see it. I really don't see that woman that he was sitting with was our Melania the way she looks right now. So Melania, there's 3 different heights listed, which is kind of convenient, isn't it? But I think, I'm always saying the white hats are manipulating things just like the bad guys used to. So they have control over all these, Wikipedias and the Encyclopedia Britannica and anything. They have control over all this stuff. So the 3 different heights for Melania is 5'9 and a half, 5'10 and 3/4, and 5'11. So, I know it's not a huge difference, but there is a difference. So 5'9 and a half and 5'11. And a size 8 dress. And shoe size is listed as 10 or 9 and a half. And, I didn't mention that size 8 is the same as Diana. And let's see, and 139 pounds. So kind of like, the way it's listed, I'm more like Melania's listing, you know? I don't know. I keep comparing myself to them because I'm thinking, well, how would I look if I was standing next to President Trump, you know? Like, um, yeah, so I think, well, that was it on that. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Then I went into who was a white rabbit. Now, remember back when everybody was trying to figure out what was going on with what did follow the white rabbit mean and all that kind of stuff? Well, that was before I was doing gematria. And so I didn't really know. But follow the white rabbit is 233. And that equals John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Okay? So that's what that means from our favorite Anon, you know, 17th letter posting. So 233 equals Jesus comes back as a woman. Because I think that they're Christ as well. You know, the Spirit of Christ and all. It's not just one man. It's different people, in my opinion. So, let's see. Follow the white rabbit is also Lord Jesus Christ's name. And forgiveness is freedom. So, it will be freedom for Eve's. I keep thinking it's Eve's. And freedom for the rest of us. So that's pretty exciting. Oh, I skipped this part. So white rabbit, just white rabbit is 117. And that's Jackie Kennedy. Queen Melania, like that makes me think of Diana, kind of, you know, Princess Diana, and then she'd be kind of like beyond princess. I don't know if they'd be called king and queen, but I doubt, honestly doubt it. But it's just like something that makes me think of Diana. Holy Mary. So it's Jackie Kennedy, Holy Mary, Heaven Queen. So we have Queen 2 times. Faked own death. And they both did. They both faked their own death. Diana and Jackie. Woman of God, that's plural. Jesus' wife. Heartbroken. And so lonely. And I keep thinking also that, oh gosh. Well, okay, so there's the Beach Boys song, Wouldn't It Be Nice If We Were Married? I've gotten to the point where I think every song has way more meaning for what's going on. It's not just certain songs. Honestly, I think it's everything. And I don't know if these people, songwriters, were all part of the good guys and nobody knew it. You know, the bad guys didn't know that we're in the record business, you know, producing business, or if they didn't have a choice and that God was making them do stuff, you know, like putting these ideas in their head maybe to write songs about a certain topic or in a certain way, certain phrasing. So I really don't know how it all came about, but it certainly seems like it. Every time I hear a song, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what it means. It means X, Y, and Z. It means this, that, and the other thing. So, anyway, so I was just, you know, wouldn't it be nice if we were married? And then in the in the night we could stay together. You know, something like that. I don't remember all the words, but that's the point. You know, wouldn't it be nice if we were married? And I've been thinking that possibly Diana, say Diana and our junior, the way I call him, who is JFK Jr., but was Joseph Patrick Kennedy Jr. So what if it's almost been like a jail, like maybe not like a locked up prison kind of jail, but like where she can't go where she wants to go or be with who she wants to at the time she wants to. Maybe they could see each other during the day, but they couldn't see each other at night or something like that. Because I had at least one story from Simon that made me think about that. Like being locked up and, you know, I can't remember the whole story, but it really could be like that. Like as a, why would she be allowed to be happy if she's supposed to be punished at the end of all this? So, I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of just wondering. That's just like a wondering out loud. And I always want to know what you guys think. So, just stop the video and because it's recorded and tell me what you think. Like, do you think maybe they're being kept apart, or do you think I'm wrong? And that they've been. Now I know that there was the kids that everybody's talking about at rallies, and everybody be excited. Oh, there's one of the kids that looks like they're juniors, and they want to say Carolyn, but there was no Carolyn. I am just so sure there was never a Carolyn. That it was always Diana, and that and I've gotten things about palest blue eyes and Simon stories, and so that can be done with contacts. I mean, Princess Diana's blue eyes could have been contacts for all I know, but eye color can always be manipulated because it just can. You know that. I mean, if you could look like a monster in a Hollywood movie, a person, right, could be made up like that. They could do anything with anybody. So they can change the eye color. Remember in The Wizard of Oz, you could even dye my eyes to match my gown. Jolly old town, I don't know, just hit me. So The Wizard of Oz is full of comms. Anyway, there was no Carolyn Bessette Kennedy, CBK as we call her. And what if, I really do think she was Diana the whole time. And it was either a wig or Diana had been growing her hair. Maybe Diana, when we kept seeing her on the ship with Dodi Fayed or something, she could have had her hair tucked up into a wig that was a short hairdo. I mean, there's so many ways that this could have been done. And this has been planned since day one of time. I mean, time. There was no time, back then. But, let's see. White Rabbit. I keep getting off on topic, but so I said fake death, so lonely. Oh, next one that matches White Rabbit at 117 is Diana Trump. Well, okay, Diana Trump. If maybe somebody entered it, I don't think so, but maybe somebody entered it like, oh, Diana and Trump kind of idea, but I'm looking at it like literally Diana Trump. And, but they're not really married. It's just an act. Everything's an act. I think everybody in the B administration, who I'm talking about, who's John and other people, I'm pretty sure there's other people involved, that, and I have videos on that, old ones, that I'm more awkward than I am now, believe it or not. And, so, anyway, I lost my train of thought. Oh my gosh. So, Diana Trump. So, I don't think there's a Melania either at this point. I mean, I guess I could, I can always change my mind. That's our prerogative, right? We can change our mind. So Diana Trump and, let's see. Oh, and on the move, the phrase on the move matches White Rabbit 117. Now, the reason I'm bringing that up is that George from our George News on Telegram, this was a while back, I don't remember what month or anything, he showed a map, and it was when he showed, I think it was near when he showed that he was on Air Force One, and he had his Punisher backpack on the seat of Air Force One, and it had this really fancy tag hanging on it that said Air Force One, because it was tagged as almost like luggage. And so it was, I think it was around that time. And so he posted on Telegram, he posted a screenshot of a map, like a Google map, and he had the pin, the little, I think it was the little guy thing, you know, when you show where somebody is, was, he was telling us it was him, and it was a map near Mar-a-Lago. And all it said was, on the move. And I always thought, well, that's interesting. I never decoded it, though. I didn't look into it. So on the move matches Jackie Kennedy. So, you know, I was doing White Rabbit 117, but 117 is also Jackie Kennedy. So when George posted that, so what if George is Jackie? What if George is all of them? And who knows, really? So that was really cool. And so when he said, or she said, on the move, on is 29, and 29 is Diana. So almost like Diana's here and going along towards Mar-a-Lago. And it was a map, right? And map is, what did I say it was? Map is 30? Can't even remember right now. And that equals Joe. So it's like Joe and Diana on the move when you do all this little decoding. When he showed that map near Mar-a-Lago. So that's interesting, don't you think? Let's see, what else is White Rabbit 117? Abominable acts. Welcome aboard. See Trump and torn in half. Like, ah. And another Simon story, they were talking about, I think it was a woman, but now I can't remember, but they were talking about the head almost being torn off. Everything in that is comms. Everything. Because it's Junior. I think it might be Junior and JFK taking turns doing Simon Stanhope and on bite-sized audio, and also on Greg Wagland, his channel, and that's Magpie Radio. So I would listen to those if I were you, because you'll hear all kinds of stuff, and you'll go, oh my gosh, they mean this. Oh my gosh, they mean that. And you'll be so excited. Let's see, so I already did follow the right White Rabbit. I think that was it on, no. Oh, I can't stop, you guys. It's awful. Even up to this morning, I was still adding stuff, decoding stuff. So I tried, is Diana a rabbit? Now, back to what a white rabbit really is. Now, a white rabbit, if you remember, you might remember, there was photos of bad guys dressed as white rabbits, and it was kind of like a bad thing, like doing things. Yeah, I won't go into it, but. And it was almost supposedly like performance art, supposedly. I mean, I don't know what they would have called that. And, you know, I remember there was like a black background and there were these white people. It was people in rabbit costumes with their face showing. And, yeah, I don't remember who posted it, but anyway, it was, maybe you could find it on images if you did a search. I don't remember. And, a white rabbit is someone who does the things that we don't like. Okay? I won't say to who. It's the things we don't like. Okay? And, yeah. So, if you're a white rabbit in this bizarre world that I'm talking about, then it's someone who has done those things. Okay? Now, remember, I've been talking about the Garden of Eden and what Adam even, I don't know, but at least one Eve, if not two, did this. Same thing, okay? And that's why I was using that phrase. Is Diana a rabbit? And I was talking about the other one. Where was it? A couple of pages. Sorry about the noise. Gosh. yeah, anyway. Wondering if Jackie and, Diana were white rabbits because of the meaning behind it. So, let's see, where was I? Is Diana a rabbit? It's 110. And one of our 17th letter posts on the board, is, I guess you could say, is games are fun. So that matches. Is Diana a rabbit? Of course can turn around and just change the position of the words, and you can say, instead of a question, you can say the same words. Diana is a rabbit, right? And games are fun matches. So that's another meaning of games are fun, in my opinion. It's also, 110 is also Punisher, Grim Reaper, Accepting Fate, and the Comeback Kid. So after all that, coming back. Okay, and here's why I did both of them. Diana and Jackie are white rabbits. And that's 247, and it equals December 7th, God number. Now, December 7th is supposed to be the date that God was born, or say God, Jesus. No, Jesus is September 11th, and God, beyond Jesus, is December 7th. I think I have that right. Correct me if I'm wrong from what you guys have been interpreting. I mean, we can't be 100% sure, but, from interpreting things. So, December 7th is interesting because it comes up all the time when you're doing coding. Right up at the top, usually. And so is December 7th a date when this event might happen? I'm not sure at all, but it could be. And what if the date that we see people, and I'm always saying it's going to be a fireside chat, like at 8 or 9 o'clock at night till 10 o'clock at night. I've been getting all these times like that, and fireside interpretations all coming along with those times from different stories and different coding. So what if that fireside chat happens on, I'm not sure if it'd be the same day we see them, but what if we see them on 11/22? Who knows if it's this year? Don't count your chickens before they're hatched. It could be 5 years from now. Who knows? Because certainly not many people are talking about this. I don't think. So maybe they have to wait until way more people are in on the coding in this kind of train of thought. Although I really do think that they've got a date in mind. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, here I am saying I don't know what year. I really don't. But I had somewhere in my notes that yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, bad TV to keep pausing like this, but I won't try to figure it out because I can't remember all of it. So December 7th, God number, and the best is yet to come. So that's a phrase, and you add and to the best is yet to come. That's another President Trump phrase. We will make America great again. And he says that with such emphasis near the end of his Save America rallies. That's what they're called now. They're not really called just Trump rallies. They're called Save America rallies. And we will make America great again. And he pauses between each word. And that equals Diana and Jackie are white rabbits. So hell is located on Saturn. It's very interesting. Now, I've talked about that we're on a big moon, right? That's from God's. It's a G. It starts with God, but I think you pronounce it Godge. It's Godge, and you can look at that as just the first part of the name, Godge, and then it's Vlamaste with a VL, Godge, Vlamaste, maybe, I don't know, and so it's Godge, VLAMSTE. And he's got a series, he's got playlists, like I do. I have playlists, so if anybody's interested in a topic, I have playlists on. Check my homepage and you'll see it at the top of the banner. Community is where I post other people's videos and things. So look there. But he has the theory, I don't think it's a theory, I think it's the truth, of that we're in a crater, and that the moon that we're seeing in the sky is really just, we're on it. It's hard to explain, honestly. If you watch the first 4 or 5 videos in his Crater, Crater, Crater Earth series, you'll understand how that theory works. And Gojvlamaste equals John F. Kennedy, or it's John Fitzgerald Kennedy. I don't remember. It equals one of them. And let's see. So hell is located on Saturn. Oh, the reason I was explaining that is because all those bazillion craters that you see on the moon is actually different places. Like we're one of those little tiny craters. And Saturn would be like another one, possibly. Because I think, NASA's all lying and everything. So all the things about, they're out here and we're over here and all this stuff, I don't think any of that's real. Okay. And it makes sense because the people that we're talking about, most of them are Saturnalius. It's Saturnalia is like their religion, and it's devil stuff, and I don't want to get booted off, so anyway. Juan has talked about that the Saturnalius want to use the moon to get back to Saturn. Maybe they don't want to go, maybe they will be going, maybe that's more like it, but anyway, when he said it, he said, I know that's hard to believe, but it's their religion and that's what they believe. And I used to think, they want to use a rocket to get to the moon, before I knew about time travel or anything. And then they want to go use something to go on to Saturn. But that's not what it is. So, let's see. Oh, okay. I was trying to figure out, is Princess Diana married? That was the next thing I was working on after, is Diana a rabbit? Let's see. You can use it as a question when you enter things into matrix.org. You can do whatever you darn well want, of course. But I did, Princess Diana is married. You can also say, is Princess Diana married, right? And the best is yet to come is 228. And let's see, that matches Princess Diana is married. Hello from the future, okay? That makes sense because I brought up the kids a while ago, and I didn't finish my thought. I'm sorry. So my thought with the kids at the rallies, that everybody says is supposedly Carolyn and our junior, JFK Jr., that I always say is just our junior. I've thought about this a few days ago. I thought, okay, time travel, blah, blah, blah. Well, what if those kids are from the future and they've come here? Like, what if, my theory, like, there's my theory about, oh, she's done bad stuff, so she can't be with John, like the Beach Boys song, wouldn't it be nice if we were married, then we wouldn't have to be apart in the night, and all this stuff. Because that he wouldn't have kids with her out of wedlock, right? I think that there's definitely a zero chance of that. So what if they're from the future and they've come here? I think that's a definite possibility. And when I got this, yesterday or whatever, hello from the future, that was just like, oh, okay, that could be what that's referring to, what that thought about the kids in the future. Hello from the future. Princess Diana is married, 228. Hello from the future, 228. Bigger than you can imagine is 228. King David and Queen Bathsheba, because I'm sure he was King David, and now I'm realizing, oh yeah, that makes sense. She was Queen Bathsheba. Everybody's been living all these different lives, all of us, and we will remember it, I'm sure, when all this has come about, and so what if the children, oh yeah, I already said that. That's not a match. That's my theory. So let's see. And Revelation 11:11 matches. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm saying I'm sorry. Guys, I don't know why anybody listens to me. Diana and Jackie are white rabbits. I have to go back because I missed one. 247. And it equals Revelation 11:11. And I was talking about Revelation 11 because the beast and them dying and the two witnesses die and they're in the street and everybody sees them, right? And Revelation 11:11 is I'll read it right off. 3.5 days later, the two witnesses, they breathe in God's breath of life, and they stood on their feet, and great fear fell on those who saw them. Yeah, everybody's going to be going, oh my gosh, we just saw them and now they're gone and this is terrible, and everybody's going to be in mourning because they were so happy and then suddenly they're not. It's the opposite, and then they come back. Like, whoa, it's going to be intense. So on that note, that's it for this one, and I'm going to record some more. So you guys, I love you guys, and thank you for putting up with me, and thank you for any donations you give. I always list where you can do that at the end, or you can do it on the chat when it's a premiere. So, which, if you're seeing it and it says premiere, you can do that. But I'm also on Buy Me Coffee and Venmo and PayPal and blah blah blah. So, and thank you guys who did donate. I do appreciate it. I really do. And anyway. Love you. I'll see you soon. Bye.